Oh, that's not good. For some reason it did not work. Nope. No, it says
Looks
we're
like
going.
it's live.
Yep, now we're going. Yeah, it gave me an error message at first. Apparently there's a problem with YouTube. Our YouTube page is blank right now. This is interesting. Zoom is working, YouTube is not.
No, that's why we started a few minutes early, Chad. Give it a second, maybe.
I mean, like YouTube is not working.
Let me look here.
Like their website.
Yeah, Karen, you said you can't see me on the thing. I don't know why they did before. So can you? I'm
No.
The camera's backwards is what it is.
Okay.
Looks
I
like
wasn't
you're
a
looking
second
at
ago.
the
What
floor.
hell happened? Okay, let me. Okay. Well, that was a better picture there. So I'm on there now, right?
I didn't want to say anything, but yeah.
It was paper airplane back
Wonder
there.
what. I don't know how that happened. I didn't change anything, and I was talking to everybody before on here, so you can see it now, all right?
Yeah, you're right,
I
Chad.
just keep seeing Troy. Troy's on there all the time here.
Randy, I still see, maybe it's your iPad.
Yeah, we're seeing I don't
Just
know, is that the carpet?
That's
Maybe.
the green tablecloth there now. See, that's what I switched the camera around. But I see myself here now, so now I see the table. But can you see me?
No, just says our Pro iPad.
Huh.
Well, I guess something's wrong with my camera because I see myself, here on my end when I'm talking. And so I guess I just need to stop
Okay.
the video.
Now I can see just that tablecloth, I guess.
Yeah, so I don't know. Well, let me log out and log back in.
Okay, we got time.
Yeah, the Boone County Schools channel isn't showing any videos at all on it.
Yeah, I'm jumping around. I'm jumping around on YouTube and it's not.
I think the YouTube's having a problem. It's not loading a lot of pages for me.
Yeah, my parent camp page isn't loading either.
Well, that'll be interesting.
The hell?
Yep, YouTube is not working.
How about, well, we can't switch now because we already advertised for the
Yep,
YouTube.
we advertised it.
So can't do the Facebook Live either. Oh, technology.
Yeah. Yep, they've reported 86,000 problems in the last hour. That's awesome.
Okay, it's up now, Chad.
Is it going?
It's live now. Yes, the May board meeting is live, so we're okay. We just wait for Dr. Poe to come back.
You're seeing it on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, because mine's still not loading.
Okay, can you see me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't do anything, so I don't know what the.
Gosh.
Okay.
Yep. No, it's on. Yeah, it's on there.
Okay.
I'm getting it too. So. All right. Are we ready to roll then?
Yes.
Chad, are you okay with that? Can you see it? I can see it. You're live.
Okay.
I could see it. I could see it as well, guys. But Chad, you good with this going? Okay, cool.
Yep, go ahead.
All right, everybody, good evening. This is the regular meeting of the Boone County Board of Education. We are meeting virtually tonight. It's May the 14th, 2020, 7:30 p.m. I'm gonna call the meeting to order. If you would, please join me in a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance
To the
to
flag
the flag
of the
of the
United
United
States
States of
of
America
America,
and to the
to the
republic
republic
for which
it
for which it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
Liberty and justice
liberty
for all.
and justice for
for
all.
all.
All right, thank you. So that brings us to item 3, our good news items. We have Senator Schickel joining us this evening. He's going to give an update to the board coming out of the legislative session here earlier this year. Certainly a lot going on. We appreciate your work, Mr. Schickel, and your time that you're going to spend with us this evening. So I'll turn the floor over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Poe and Matt Turner, congratulations on your appointment. These are very unusual times, and I just wanted to come and visit with you all because it's been a while. I was trying to think how long it's been, but I think it's been at least a year since I've been before the school board. The session was just completely dominated after the virus hit. Just amazing to me how quickly things changed. And I'm sure the same is true with the school system and everything else. It's just very, very, very unusual times. I could go into a lot of detail about what went on in the session with various bills, and would be happy to answer any questions. I guess the thing that I've been working on that directly involves schools, and I'm glad we have our acting superintendent, new superintendent with us, because I look forward to discussing this with him and also members of the board who I don't quite know so well. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be with you tonight is site-based council reform. We didn't make much headway on that this year. Well, I shouldn't say that. We passed it through the Senate again this year and got it over into the House. And I'm going to continue to work on that because I think it's just very, very important for the long range success of our public. Excuse me. The long range success of our public school system. I want to thank Dr. Poe and the members of the Boone County School Board who have been so supportive on this. And I know it hasn't always been easy because it is somewhat controversial, but I think really anything that's worthwhile is usually controversial. And I'm in this for the long haul, and I'm going to go back to work on it next year. So that's kind of the overview of that. And like I said, I look forward to talking to the members of the board and the new superintendent about this in the future. The other thing, probably very significant thing is that has to do with the session is that we decided to adopt a one-year budget. I think that was the prudent thing to do because of the situation we're in, where our revenues are just virtually falling off a cliff. There's a lot of debate in the public about, and we see it on the national news and elsewhere, about the health versus the economy. And like it's two separate issues. And I think the two issues are very, very, very connected. And the reason I bring them up to the school board is because I'm really concerned about our economy and how that's going to affect our school system and other public services. But our school system really is the largest responsibility we have. And so I guess I would say it is my main concern. We have a lot of talk about, Boone County and the state really isn't fulfilling its constitutional responsibility. The majority of your funds or our funds now come from local taxes, and we all know that's not the way it's supposed to be, but this downturn in our economy is going to affect local and state and federal. It's going to affect everything. So I get kind of frustrated when I sense a disconnect. And when I say frustration, I'm not talking to the board on this, but when I hear this kind of disconnect, that we either have to do health, we have to either focus on safety or we have to focus on the economy, because I think we can do both. And that's what I've been encouraged to do. Or what I've been encouraging my colleagues to do. It's important, I think, especially here in Northern Kentucky, when we look at these numbers, that we keep them in perspective. Really what these numbers are saying. And here in Boone County, where I don't mean to minimize the tragedy of the virus, because the tragedy has been horrible, but I think we've done a pretty good job as far as that's concerned. I think St. Elizabeth Hospital's done a good job. I think our health department's done a good job. I think our fiscal court's done a good job. And I'm really happy. I don't know how many people see my correspondence, but I tell people, they watch the national news, and I get a lot of people that are very upset and worried. And it seems like many of them are seniors. And we have plenty of hospital beds here in Boone County. We have plenty of ventilators. They've really done a good job of managing that part of the crisis. Now, I think our challenge is to get our economy back open, again, why the reason I bring this up to the school board is because it's just you can't disconnect. The two are just so connected. That really is about all I have to say, except I want to thank Dr. Poe and the staff is so kind to me during the session. If I have a constituent matter, it's always taken care of in a very timely manner. And I want to thank you for it. I guess also I just want to, as a state senator representing Boone County, long time, I'm out in the community a lot, and I just want to share with the board and the top administration of the school system how important I think it is that we get our kids back in school. Our kids miss not being in school. It's such a vital part of our community. And, I don't know whether it's going to be sooner or later. Those are the difficult decisions that you all are going to have to make. But any way I can help facilitate that or help with it, or please let me know, and I'd be happy to do that.
Senator Schickel, thank you for your kind words there. I really appreciate it. And one of the things that in our transition plan, Mr. Turner, I'll be connecting with you so that we talk about the things going into the session, as you know, so that he can get that corresponding link so that we can continue that communication. Because as we've always said, the best thing we can do is make sure we're on the same page with things moving forward. Just like you say, we want school to open up in the fall too. We definitely don't want to have to continue the way we are ending the school, and the sooner we can get things opened up and things moving forward, that's our particular goal too. I do want to throw a thank you out to the board, because unlike other schools and different things like that, we're canceling contracts on coaches and things like that for the fall. We did not do that. Our plans are that hopefully we can start back and have those events and so forth. We may not have super large crowds or something like that, but hopefully that we can get our kids back into extracurricular activities, because as I was talking to the mayor yesterday, the more kids that's involved in extracurricular activities, the less situations that they have in the community. So it's always good to have the kids involved, and that's what our goal is. And I also want, since I have the floor for a second here, I want to thank you and also your colleagues in the House. Without you all, we wouldn't be as successful as we are. So thank you for fighting for us each day down there. We don't always and we're not always going to see eye to eye on every particular topic, but one good thing that I've always said, you guys listen, and we're working on the benefit on both sides of the coin. Even if we're sitting on different sides, we're working for the benefit of what we think is right. So I want to applaud you for that, because I don't get the straight talk from a lot of other ones, and I always do that from you. So I've always appreciated that, that straightforward. So I know where we are and where we can go and what we can do. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. And thank you, Dr. Poe, for, on those, I think most of the time we do agree, and boy, the issues we agree on, whenever I call, you're there. And I mean, you're there,
Yeah.
You're there. I don't care if it's in Western Kentucky, on the Tennessee line, or, for a hearing or to advocate for something. And I appreciate it. The other thing is getting back to I'm happy to hear about the plans for the school, and the school system really is family. And, the school system is really we have our families in the community, but the school system is really our family. When I look out, I have a lot of children live in my subdivision, a lot of young families. And when they all come up the top of the street to get on the bus, and the moms are out there, and the activities in the evening, and the sports and the arts and just everything about it, it is a family. And we lose something when that's one of the things that we lose. I don't mean to pontificate too much, but there have been some positives to this too. I might add is that I do, one of the things I've enjoyed is not running from meeting to meeting every day, like my, it seems like that's all I do. You have time to catch your breath and have a little more quality time with people. And I know I've talked to, we've learned a lot with, technology and things of that. So I guess there have been some upsides to it, but I'm happy to hear that the plans for the fall.
Okay, good stuff. Any other comments from the board or questions?
I did some of the board members I don't know so well. I would love to sit down and talk to you individually and sometime. And I think we're working on that, setting up those meetings, and I look forward to those.
Thank you, Senator Schickel. I just wanted to say my grades were due Tuesday, so that's why I haven't met with you yet. So you're on my list. So hopefully we can talk soon.
Good. Well, hopefully so. I can't see you, Doctor. Where are you?
I'm in the list somewhere. I'm down here.
I'm missing
I
you.
guess when we're sharing a screen, it doesn't pop up, does it? The talk.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Oh, well. Yeah, Senator Schickel, there's, I think, several of us that want to connect with you. We've had a busy couple of weeks, and with the schools kind of winding down, and then Maria is a professor, and I think you'll see some meetings pop on your calendar here in the next few days.
Well, I know you guys got daytime jobs and all that, and I respect that. I did, and I'm sure we'll get to it. But I just wanted, and you too, Matt. I look forward to working with you guys.
Yes, sir. Same here. Well, thanks for coming and spending some time with us. If you were ready to wrap, we'll move on with the agenda.
Thank you.
Time, Senator. Before we move to our consent agenda, we don't have another line item on the good news, but I do want to point out that this week is National Police Week. And so, generally when we're meeting in person, we will recognize our SROs and give them a gift. So we want to go ahead and recognize them. They do great work in our schools, not just on the safety side, but building relationships with the kids. I know out in our community, there's been a couple of kind of the reverse parades, whatever you want to call them, the last couple of nights, and the SROs are there, and they're some of the most popular people in the crowd. So we appreciate them for the work. We appreciate the partnership with the Florence Police Department and the Boone County Sheriff's Office. We couldn't do what we do in the schools every day and throughout the district without their support. So thank you much for a job well done, and we'll we'll bring you in the fall when we're back in person and do a more proper recognition, but we didn't want that to slip by. Okay, so that brings us to item 4, recommended agenda or action consent agenda. Did somebody have something?
No, I'm sorry, Matt, that was me.
Okay. All right. Recommended action consent agenda, Dr. Poe.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, I recommend action consent agendas items A through double Q with the treasurer's report given by Ms. Linda Shield.
All right. Hi, everyone. We began the month with an adjusted cash balance of $60,616,449. Our total revenues for the month were $5,709,183. Our total expenditures were $12,631,782. We had a net decrease in cash for the month of $6,922,599. leaving us a cash balance at the end of the month of $53,693,850. The decrease in cash is not unusual for this time of year. There's not many highlights for the month. Some of the things I wanted to point out were transfers from the general fund that included $180,000 for the Ignite School. $116,000 was transferred for the Jones Middle School mobile units, and almost $93,000 for the CATS third offer. Basically, our operating expenses reflect expected levels. They're comparative to the previous year. One thing to point out is transportation expenses look a little high, and that is just simply due to the purchase of buses. That's not reflected in the prior year at this point in time. Our debt service payments for the month were $2,655,000. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, any questions?
I don't have any questions, Mr. Chair, but Linda, I do thank you for the information that you provided, and of course, some of the notes ahead of time highlighting the different areas within, the information that you provided from the financial side. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't have a financial question, but I did have a question. This is probably down Dr. Pori's ballpark, and I apologize I didn't get it to him before now. It's item 4DD, the cancellation of the paving. I didn't know if there was a story behind that or what's going on with the paving for 2020 or.
Yeah, Maria, the only issue was when we initially wrote the BG, we had set a scope, and then as we further evaluated paving, we made some adjustments. They were minor, and KDE simply said to us, just go ahead and cancel that BG and write a new one.
Thank you. I figured it was something silly like that, but.
Yeah, it was more procedural as we changed our scope.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for clarifying that.
No problem.
So Mike, was that what was picked up in item KK under BG 20-261? Did they just roll into that?
Correct. That's then the new BG that's accurate to the work we're doing.
Okay. Because I looked at that the same way that Dr. Brown did. And then as I kept going, I had noted, okay, I'll have to ask about that. But then I thought, oh, I bet it just rolled.
No, understood.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else? So we have a recommendation. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
So motion second.
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 Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. That brings us to item 5, recommended action in old business. There is no old business. So item 6, recommended action, new business. A, Dr. Poe.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, I recommend action new business item A, the tentative working budget for 2021 fiscal school year as presented, and we will answer any questions if you have any after the recommendation and approval.
Okay, so we have a recommendation. Do I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion or questions from the board? I'll just say real quick, I've been in a budget meeting we had it, a week or so ago, and yeah, just good work going on there. It's tough though, but they're taking, I think, a conservative approach to next year's budget. But any questions on the team?
No, I just want to say thank you to the budget committee. Once again, it's a hard undertaking, and especially with COVID-19, it's even more difficult to project the unknown that we're all going through. But I do want to, appreciative of the budget committee and this board. I wanted to make the statement that put us in a situation where we can continue to move forward next year, and we're not doing some drastic measures like other particular districts have to do right now. Senator Schickel said it best, earlier that, most of our funding comes from local versus state, but that local funding did go off a cliff, and but hopefully we will be able to weather this storm through at least 1 year, and this time next year, hopefully revenues are back in place, and we will get ourselves through this in the next 2 or 3 years. That's what we've done after the last 2 cycles with major things like this. So it's not a short-term solution or fix, but the budget committee has done a great job in preparing this for us moving forward. So I just want to applaud the particular work of Ms. Shields' department, along with the budget committee. They do an outstanding job of watching the pennies, contrary to what others might say out there or whatever, and they do a good job. So I just want to make sure that let them know we did appreciate all their hard work on this.
Dr. Poe, I just had a question. Have you heard anything about, am I correct that in January we may see a SEEK funding adjustment depending upon how things go? Is that still being bumped out, or we don't know?
Well, basically what has occurred, as you heard the senator say before, they passed a 1-year budget, but within that budget, at first what they were doing was going to make everybody set aside 10%, which would have affected things at the beginning. Usually what occurs when they do that is, in this case, they're going to set aside 10% at the beginning. As what they've done in past 2 cycles like this, the 9/11 cycle, and then back when we had the Great Recession and so forth, that what they did is they withheld your 4th quarter payment as opposed to 10% all year. Now what's occurring is that we don't know. They passed the budget basically and said that the budget wasn't worth the paper that it was written on, and that they would probably have a special session in the fall. Therefore, there's where Mr. McIntyre representing you and so forth, I signed an MOU with BCA holding off any particular negotiations to the fall just for that particular reason. So the answer to your question is that there will be probably a special session in the fall. And if not, come January in the session, Senator McDaniel, who heads A&R, said that would be the first item on the agenda, would be to shore up this particular budget. So if there is any revenue shortfall, it will come in that 4th quarter withholding of SEEK. And that is what Ms. Shield and the budget committee are working under, that assumption that 4th quarter payment will potentially be withheld.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Okay, we have a recommendation, a motion. Second, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. That brings us to item 6B, Dr. Poe.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, I recommend action, new business item B, current working budget for fiscal 20 as presented.
Okay, we have a recommendation. Do I hear a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
And second, any questions or discussion there?
Discussion on that is whenever we make any particular line item adjustments in the particular budget that are not minute, they come to you in front of the board so that you're aware of any major particular shifts within those line items. And that is what this is a change in line items so that you're properly aware of any changes that we do. Any change the past board had put out, anything that was over around $60,000 or so forth, that notification should be within the board meeting as public transparency. We even go sometimes down below that 60,000 or whatever, but that's what this is.
Okay, any questions on that? All right, we have a recommendation, motion, and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries. Okay, that brings us to item 6C, superintendent contract. Dr. Poe.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, I recommend action new business item C, the superintendent contract for Mr. Turner as presented.
Okay, thank you. So we have a recommendation. Do I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
And a second. All right, any questions or discussion on that? I think everybody's pretty well up to speed. Appreciate your work there. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
Congratulations, Mr. Turner.
Yes, congratulations, Mr. Turner. Item 7, superintendent report, there is none tonight. So that brings us to item 8, information proposals and communications. I'll just kick it off with what we just touched on there with Mr. Turner's contract. And just those of you who weren't able to watch the announcement on Tuesday, we did announce Mr. Matthew Turner as the superintendent starting July 1. We're really excited for him and for the school district. We feel like Matt brings a lot to the table, a great foundation within the district, a great knowledge we're currently doing, and will be well suited to leverage that foundation that's going on in the district and help us progress on the path we're on. So Matt, we appreciate you accepting the responsibility and stepping into these shoes at a very difficult time, and I think not just the Boone County Schools team, but also the community is going to benefit from your steady hand and your guidance. And I'll also thank Dr. Poe for creating the foundation that we have today, and also for spending the next few weeks helping him get up to speed, and also allowing us to keep him on speed dial for the near term. So I don't know if the board wants to add anything. I think Matt might say a quick word or two, but does anybody else want to add anything? All right.
Well, I'll certainly say, Matt, thank you to everybody. I appreciate your support, and I'm just humbled by the opportunity. I really appreciate Dr. Poe, what he's done for me over the years, the support during my time here in Boone County. And I certainly wish him well at his retirement. He's already taken me around a little bit and talked a little bit about some of the things that he does on a regular day. And so we have some time that we're going to be meeting again as well. So I appreciate his assistance in the transition as well.
You're welcome.
Good stuff.
Mr. Turner, I know we've already said this, but we're here. So if you need us, we're here.
Thank you. I
Sure,
appreciate that.
Just don't count on Mr. McIntyre for any golf tips.
See, I wasn't going to go there. I was going to ask him, does he think that he can actually lead us to a tourney win? We'll talk about that later. Hopefully he's a better GM than the previous superintendent. Let's just say that.
Matt, just so you know, before Mr. Turner started playing with us, we were in first place. Just saying.
Before I did, I know.
I know that as a GM that I brought him on board, and I got this win that he was a UK star, played at Wake Forest, played at UK's. So I thought, I set up for a #1 spot. We have not won the businessmen special. We've only come in second a couple times. Actually, Miss Bird's son has kicked our butt the last several times. So I should have traded for a board member's son as opposed to the current board chair. I'll just say.
Well, that's because his
Yeah.
college golf player went to Moorhead.
There you go.
See, that's why I blame it on the GM. You put the wrong guy in the A slot. You know, the guy you had in the A slot should have been a C player, and then we would have been decent.
That's right.
Oh, well.
It's all for a good cause.
You're
That's
just
right.
rusty,
The
Mr.
golf outing is all for a good
Chairperson.
cause.
Yeah. You're
That's
just
right.
you're a little bit rusty. So Matt, you're going to have to get him out there on the driving range before he can go out there.
Yeah, hopefully they can do those this summer. Golly, that's probably up in the air, I guess.
Well, no, actually, leagues are starting back, so more than likely they should be planning on getting out there.
Yeah.
Even with the date being earlier this year, because isn't it scheduled like for the end of July? The golf outing for the schools?
Yes, but
Business Association.
yeah, Boone County Golf Courses opened up May 1st, and they started league play this week, and outings should be somewhat following. Now, you might not be able to get together at the end of it, but we should be able to play and people just disperse at the end. So that's what the committee should be working on, the businessmen's committee, since, so that's, or business persons, whatever they call themselves, the Boone County Business Association.
All right, good stuff.
So Matt Turner, just realized that you got 32 teams that you're responsible, the superintendent's responsible for. So you want to make sure that they're ready to go.
Gotta start recruiting now. Actually, Karen Bird does a good job recruiting. You can just put that on her. All right, anything else? Are we good on proposals, communications? Okay, that brings us to closed executive session. We have no closed session, so we are ready to adjourn. I will actually take a motion this time instead of just unilaterally trying to adjourn. I'm good at messing at least one thing up every meeting. So could I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
Motion in a couple of seconds there. All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, we are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
You
Have a good evening.
Wait a minute, we got the finance
congratulations.
one.
You
Thank you.
Wait.
finished one
Oh,
without
finance.
We got the
anything.
Finance
we have
meeting,
something?
Matt.
Finance.
Oh,
Yeah, we have the finance to go, but he completed
How am I
that
doing?
meeting without
He did.
us having to say anything.
He
So we
did.
gotta give him
I was
credit.
ready to hang up. All right, so let's call to order the Finance Corporation of the Boone County Board of Education virtual meeting, May 14th, 2020. You know what? I didn't print off I guess I didn't print that one off. All right, sorry, what's on? Do you have it up here?
Audience of citizens. Well, you almost made it tonight, Matt. Audience of citizens. There's no audience of citizens.
I don't have
And
Karen
the
here to give me
item
everything.
is approval of minutes and financial statements.
Okay, so that brings us to, what is that, let's just let her bring it.
Item
Three.
3,
Item 3, Dr. Poe.
approval of the financial. I recommend, Mr. Chairperson, approval of the minutes and financial statements, items A and B as presented.
Okay, we have a recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a
Okay, second.
Okay, any questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
And B,
Yep, sorry. Did you have something? Dr. Poe?
no, I have a statement before we end.
Okay, so hearing none, motion carries there on item 3. That brings us to item 4. Dr. Poe, did you have something before we
Yeah,
adjourn?
just prior to adjournment, I just wanted to say, Miss Linda Shield knows this because we met with her this week. Just so if you were reading in the paper, Ross Sinclair, who is our financial bond person and works with us on the financial corporation meeting minutes, has split off into 3 companies. RSA, which was Ross Sinclair and that financial advisors who we work with, nothing changes. So if you hear of anything or you hear any particular rumors, that has not changed. And I'll be introducing Matt Turner to Dwight Salisbury, who is the Kentucky rep with Ross Sinclair in the next couple of weeks. But I wanted to let everybody know, so because the rumors out there that, that they split up, they didn't, due to the different things within the area, just like back when we had government accounting standards, different things changed. So they split into 3 companies so that they can continue to grow and expand in different areas, as opposed to being able to do different things with their company. So RSA still is what it is for us, and nothing for us changes.
Oh, yeah, I have not seen that. So, okay, good
I
stuff.
was in the Cincinnati Business Courier this week, so that's why I wanted to mention it. There were people with rumors, so and of course, as soon as that did, other people were calling us, are we changing? And the answer is no. RSA is still our financial advisors, and nothing changed. The people we work with did not change. Nothing changed on that.
Okay. Good to know. All right. Adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Okay. Second.
Second.
Hey,
All right, I
Matt,
didn't hear.
is
What's
this
that?
our new student rep that's on with us?
Say again?
Do we have, I see Olivia. Is she our new
Olivia.
student board rep?
No,
I'm the
no.
board attorney. Oh, you look so young. Oh my goodness, you look so young.
Maria, she
Well,
was back in the day. She was the student board rep back in the day.
I
That
actually
about
was the
14
student board
years
rep at
ago.
one point, though. Yeah.
Well,
See?
see, then there you look so young. I thought you were a high school student, so there you go. I apologize.
No. She's
Oh, good.
Sorry.
Just made her
Olivia,
day.
what year were you the student board rep? What year was that? 19 what? No,
That was
2003 or
2000
4 or something.
Oh, 2008 and 9.
Okay, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah, so you are pretty young then. Well, I apologize. I'm
It's
student board rep
okay.
coming.
No, but it goes to show you, Maria, how great our student board rep program is. We've got a lot of superstars that were school board representatives, and Olivia's one. It's a great honor when you think that she was a former student. Now she's a great lawyer and a great representative to have as filling in on Jerry's shoes there for the future. We'll be seeing more of Olivia. Well, I guess you all will be seeing more of Olivia as time goes on, as the substituting for Jerry as opposed to Claire. So, because she's a good Boone County, so that's always great.
It's funny because, I know all of you all by name because I see the stuff that comes across my desk, and it just comes from me to Claire to Jerry and then to you. So I forget that you all have no idea who I am.
There you go.
Well, sorry, Olivia.
Oh, it's okay. Hey, I'd rather you think I was the high school student than the opposite of young.
The last name threw me for a minute.
Yeah, I figured it might, but it's good to see you again, Karen.
Yeah, you too, Olivia.
All right, we did the, I don't know if we voted, did we? Did we vote on adjournment? The motion second. I was rudely interrupted by Dr. Brown.
I'm
All right,
sorry,
all in
Matt.
favor? Almost called her Dr. Fun. Any opposed? None. Hearing none. Motion carries. All right, we're finally.
Good
All
night,
right,
all.
guys. Y'all have a good evening.
Have a good
Night. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Good night.